Hi all, wanted to come on and discuss my seed inventory for 2025. This is a couple years in the works. I don't have that many seeds. It's not a crazy amount, but I did just purchase some from Johnny's Seeds, strictly flower seeds. So I'm going to have a mix indoors in terms of indoor sowing, flowers, may get some veggies started. We eat a lot of salad around here. I do, trying to get my girls to eat more salad, more leafy greens. So I'm going to start some of those as well because I'm just itchy and antsy to get out in the garden, which I'm sure you guys are too. I like the winter in terms of it's a little bit slower, it's a little bit more quiet, and I know that snowpack is nourishing the soil. I've seen a lot of posts floating around on social media about nitrogen and how the snow helps carry the nitrogen into the soil. A lot of science there, a lot of chemistry. But yeah, just Google that if you have some free time and you're interested. So I've organized my seeds. Like I said, strictly flower here, primarily that I'm starting, but I do have some leftover veggie seeds from last season. But I've got them organized in terms of timing. So checking out the back of the seed packet or going online and checking out your specific variety, timing your last frost date. Here in Northern Kentucky, it's around mid-April. So I've got 4 to 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks starting before the last frost date, and then 10 to 16 weeks. I have got some plants that need that much time to get going. So some of them are slow starters. Let's just run through, the flowers in terms of the 4-week varieties, which I'll start, like it says, about 4 weeks before that last frost date. I've got some zinnias. I decided to go with a classic Bennery's Giant Salmon Rose. So it's a salmon colored zinnia, gorgeous. And then the ballerina. My daughter actually helped me pick this one out. And this one's a pretty hot item because the 50 seed packet that I purchased, that has actually been sold out for a couple days now. So both of these 50 seeds. So I'll put 2 seeds per cell. I've got some straw flower here. This can be just, placed on the top of the soil. Pretty much all of these in this 4 to 6 weeks category. These flowers, you just place the seed on top. I guess they say a little layer of something like vermiculite or light soil, but apparently these seeds require direct light in order to germinate. So the straw flower, cranberry rose, really pretty. Also Statice. The Seeker White, I bought that variety. Both of these, or the Statice has 100 seeds, so maybe get a little bit more than just 2 per cell, increase your chances of success. 50 seeds for the straw flower. The pincushion, also known as scabiosa, 50 seeds of that. That is also needing the direct light to aid in germination. Reading the back of the envelope here, this looks like you can also direct sow. So remember, you can direct sow all these as well. A lot of them, though, you're going to have to wait until the danger of frost has passed. Now, some of these seeds need what's called cold stratification. Maybe worth doing some research on that to find out which of your seeds needs to be exposed to cold beforehand. Not a lot of that going on here. The marigolds, I've got some of those that I bought last year. And then I've got some sunflowers, which I planted quite a bit of last year. Little critters in my yard, unfortunately, got to them before they could really get tall. But I did get some neat pictures of birds sitting atop the spent flower heads there on my sunflowers. So those also are in the 4 to 6 weeks category. So still got to wait a little while before I sow those in likely March. But some that I'm looking forward to starting right now, Snapdragons. These need 8 to 12 weeks before your last frost date in order to germinate and get ready. So light is also required for germination on these Snapdragons. This is the early sunrise mix, so warm colors there. You're talking about corals, oranges, yellows, that sort of thing. So I thought that was a really pretty, and honestly the most economical of all these seed packets I bought at $3 and change. Taking us to our 10 to 12 week category, needed for germination. Delphiniums. These are beautiful, but I did not have success with these at all last year. They did not germinate at all for me. Of course, I started them outdoors in the spring. So definitely going to start these indoors. They need to be planted 1/8 of an inch into the soil. Also sticking with the purple theme, cool colors, the bachelor's button, which I just love this flower. I don't know what it is about it, but I just think it's so dainty and kind of that wild look. I love native plants. I love perennials, and I love doing roadside bouquets. I have a link to a video where I put together a roadside bouquet 101, where you just literally take clippings from the side of the road from things growing there. So bachelor button would definitely be in that category of getting that look, that aesthetic. And then the longest seeds, it seems, that I purchased that take to germinate are something called Orangium. It takes 10 to 18 weeks. Also going to start these. These are really cool looking. They're perennial in our zone 6B as well here in northern Kentucky. We're right outside of Cincinnati, for those of you not in the area. These require being on top of the soil, so light germinated. And then also on the back of the packet here, they suggest at Johnny's Seeds, this is where I bought these from, that you would want to up pot these, which means move them to a larger container. And it looks like 3 to 4 inch containers. At what point does it say to do that? Transplant into cell packs 5 to 8 weeks after emergence. So about 2 months after you see them sprout up, that's where you'd want to up pot them. So it's nice to know I'll still have some indoor growing activity going on, even concurrent to planting stuff outside. So that's kind of exciting. And then over here, I also have some of my my vegetable garden seeds. Interesting fact here, these little seeds right here are coriander. So I planted some cilantro, grew some cilantro a while back in my garden beds out back, and went ahead and harvested these seeds. These are probably 3 years old though. So I'm not sure if they would necessarily germinate, but hey, we may as well try indoors this year. So that's something I can also do indoors in the summertime. I've also got some spinach here. Let's see, Swiss chard. This would be started closer to the end of summer because that's a cool season crop. Bunch of green beans here. I will just plant these outside in the garden. Let's see what else I've got here. As I said, lots of lettuce. I may actually start that indoors. Let's see what it says here about starting indoors. 4 weeks before transplanting. Plant outdoors after danger of frost. So this is another in the 4-week category. So still have to wait a little bit for that. Summer squash, that says the name. Says it all in the name that you need to wait till summer. These are interesting seeds I bought last year. This is actually a thing called seed tape. Now, I actually had some decent growth from this. I'm sure that there's some kind of controversy, because there always is about everything regarding seed tape versus standalone seeds. I haven't really looked into that, but I had pretty decent success. I mean, obviously, if you want more growing control, that would not be something you'd want to do. But let's see if I'm losing any seeds here. Nope. But yeah, just kind of an interesting thing. Maybe I'll do another video on that. Vermiculite. This is a buzzword I hear bandied about quite a bit here on these gardening channels. And that's something I think I'm going to buy at the garden store. I did get a gift card for Christmas from a very thoughtful relative. So some vermiculite, some liquid fertilizer. Once you start seeing several sets of leaves on your seedlings, I believe that's when you can give them a little dose of some fertilizer. No heat mat, not going to do that. I think I'm just going to be good with the lights, hopefully. Hopefully they're at the right spectrum. I know they're a little weak, but since I've got that window nearby, I think since I've got a window overhead, with some natural light, I'm hoping that that'll be enough. What am I missing? I know. Hold that thought. So this may just look like a plastic bag full of other plastic bags. That's exactly what it is. I'm just going to keep everything. I mean, if it's plastic that looks like it's something where I can collect seed, I'm going to keep it and I'm going to put it in this handy dandy bag. You know why? Because you never know when you're going to run across some seeds that you want to keep. Whether it's in a flower bouquet, whether it's the flowers right outside your door in your garden bed. I think it's a very economical thing to just keep the seeds, you know? All right, I'm going to try to organize these rubber band things and put all these packets separately and then write a little note of when I need to sew them. I think that'll be a nice organized way to go about this. All in, I think this is a really, economical hobby. I mean, you can obviously spend as much money as you want, like other hobbies, but, just little ticks and ticks? Well, we don't want ticks. I was just thinking about the ticks and the barberry bush I have out front and with the deer. Anyway, I'm getting way off track here. But please comment. Let's get the conversation going. What you are planting, what your plans are. If you've got a sketch for your garden beds, if you're doing some landscaping this spring. In my next Kentucky Garden Girl episode video, I'm going to be showing you guys my seed starting space. Finally have that set up and going to start potting up. So it should be an exciting time. I love having you guys along. I want to get more conversation going, actually, more back and forth, because it's all about our little gardening community here locally, especially in Kentucky. I don't see a lot of visibility of Kentucky gardeners necessarily